Hi guys, how goes life? I hope you're all swell and jolly and taking care of yourselves and each other. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about a conversation that I had this morning. So, before I got to text one of my friends, they ended up texting me first. It's like, cool, let's just start the day like this. So, he says, "Good morning, how are you?" I'm like, "Good morning, good morning. How are you feeling?" and all that good stuff. Before he answered how he was feeling, he asked me if I've ever had my palm read or spoken to a psychic. Hell no. And let me tell you why. It's one of my irrational fears, right? So I don't know if you guys have ever seen Carmen a Hip Hopera. It's like a remake. It was a remake of the original Carmen starring Dorothy Dandridge and Harry Belafonte. The Hip Hopera version is with Beyonce, Rod Digga, Joy Bryant, Wyclef, Mos Def, Mekhi Phifer, and Reagan Gomez is even in it. It's like a host of celebrities and such, actors and actresses and all that good stuff. So, in Carmen a Hip Hopera, Carmen and her friends go to have their palms read at this tarot place. And while her friends get these really great readings, like they're going to be rich and famous and successful, all that good stuff, um, when it comes to Carmen's turn, the tarot card reader is like, "Nah, I think y'all should exit." So she like pushes him, and she eventually flips the card herself, and it basically tells her that she's gonna die. So she goes into this whole spiel about how she's too young, she doesn't want to die, and the tarot card guy is like, "Nah, like the cards never lie. This is what's gonna happen." Long story short, I don't mean for this to be a spoiler, but the movie came out like 20 years ago. She dies that night after having her card, like the card situation done, right? And it freaked me out. And yes, 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 I know. It is one of my many irrational fears, something in my eye. It's one of my many irrational fears. But what I'm not gonna do is go to someone and they tell me, "Hey, by the way, you're gonna die tonight." I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm not knocking anybody who, like, is really into psychic readings and really into having a palm read or tarot cards. That's your thing. I support you doing that. It's just not something I want to do because I'm irrationally afraid of it. so, so I'm explaining to my friend why it's not going to happen here. But as I'm explaining it, I'm reminded of a time where I was walking not far from home, and this lady, she had her psychic reading situation set up. I walked past her and she was like, "You have really good energy. I would love to do a reading for you. Thank you, but no thank you. I don't want to do that. Thank you, for like feeling my good positive energy and all that good stuff." Like, and this was at like one of those times where I had a lot of self-doubt. So to hear some random person say, "You have really good energy," I don't know if it was a gimmick. I don't know if that's really how she felt, but like that was good and it was reassuring. Now being where I am now, like the good energy, the positive vibes are there. I feel them. I know a lot of it is due and thanks to God. A lot of it is also due to me. Like I'm getting myself out of the self-doubt. I'm getting myself out of the negativity. I'm getting myself out of anything that is not meant for me. So like I'm all for it. I just don't want a psychic reading. So I continue to talk to my friend about, his experience with his psychic, and he expressed to me that his psychic told him, and this is for a fee. I think he paid like $20 for it. His psychic told him everything that I told him for free. Over the years that I've known this man, I've known him since I was 23, so I was 22. It was 2013. So I've known him for 7 years. Over the past 7 years, over the past week, over the past month, all of the things that I have shared with him for free about how I truly believe he's meant for something great, how his personality is just going to bring, the person that he needs into his life, how his personality is going to uplift him in the ways that it needs to uplift him, and he's going to be great and all his jazz. I mean, there's more to it, but that's to sum it up. All the stuff that I said for free, the psychic told him for a fee, and now I want my money back. I told him I'm sending him an invoice. I give like, and I don't understand why my peoples are not understanding me. I give great advice for free. I give really, really good advice for free. And nobody listens to me, but we'd rather pay somebody else. And like, I get it. And again, I totally understand it. Like, that's how I am with my therapy. You know, it's much easier to talk to someone who doesn't know you, someone who hasn't experienced the things that you've experienced with other people. It's much easier and, you know, honestly, a lot more effective to hear, you know, a stranger tell you something about you, you know, whether good or bad, preferably if it's a good thing. It's much easier to digest because like it can be biased sometimes, and I get that. Like, if you tell me, like, if I'm like a friend of yours and I know what you're going through and I'm giving you advice, it could come off like, you know, a one-sided thing. But with my advice, I take myself out of it. um I try not to like get my emotional feelings involved when I'm giving advice to people, because honestly, it has nothing to do with me. My feelings need to be disregarded because this is about that person, you know? So I'm really good at that. And like I said, I give really good advice, but I understand like why he went through the outlet that he went through, especially like now. And the advice that he got, the advice that I gave for free, was much needed. And I hope that he accepts it, and I hope that he makes, you know, the positive choices and changes that he needs. Because I truly, with all my heart, believe that my friend is meant for greatness. Like, I love this kid. I call him a kid. He's really an old man. He's an old person. But anyway, guys, so yeah. This has been another talk about my irrational fears and how much I love my friends very, very deeply. And although I give good advice, they don't take it. I'm gonna start charging for it. Well, have a great one. Happy Tuesday. Bye.